Hello, Aries. Do you believe that in just one special day, 6 numbers could become the key that unlocks the door of prosperity meant only for you? Baba Vanga, the great prophet, left a message just for those who carry the Aries fire in their hearts. And on September 29, that door will open. These are not just numbers to play in the lottery. They are energy codes guiding you back to the true power that lives inside you. So come with me, step into this journey, where the very first number, 05, will reveal the power of beginnings and the pioneering flame that only Aries carries within. On September 29, 2025, it won't just be another date on the calendar. It will feel like an invisible door, slowly opening just for you, Aries, in the silence of the universe. There are currents so subtle that ordinary eyes cannot see them, but Baba Vanga, blind since she was very young, could sense them more clearly than anyone else. She once said, "Destiny is never written in words, but in symbols, in numbers, and sometimes in the smallest signs that hold the power to change an entire life." Today, I want you to listen, not only with your ears, but with your heart. The 6 numbers Baba Vanga left for Aries on this day are not simply digits to scribble on a lottery ticket. They are energy codes, vibrating keys that can open the door to prosperity and illuminate the path you were always meant to walk. I believe the universe has its own way of whispering to our souls when you keep seeing the same number again and again, or a sign shows up at the exact moment you're lost, searching for direction. It is never random. It's the universe knocking on your heart, reminding you, abundance doesn't come from the outside. It begins within you. True abundance is not always a big bank account. It is the unshakable trust that you will always be provided for, always supported, even when the road ahead is covered in fog. Aries, I know there have been moments when you've doubted. You've asked yourself, is there really a chance to change my destiny, or is it just a dream painted to comfort me? But remember, the Aries flame was never meant to settle. It is a light that burns to open the way, a force inside you that pushes you beyond your comfort zone, toward a new horizon. And so the fact that you're hearing these words right now, this is no coincidence. This is the universe inviting you to prepare, to open that door. I've seen many people around me chasing success so hard that they miss the subtle signs life is sending. A dream that repeats, a number on a receipt, a passing glance that makes the heart tremble. All of these are messages that there is a greater flow at work. And if we dare to believe, if we pause long enough to listen, we'll see real opportunities unfold. For Aries, the 6 numbers Baba Vanga left behind are a reminder. You're not just living a life, you're walking the sacred journey of a soul. Ask yourself, how many times have you felt an invisible hand guiding you, when a string of coincidences lined up into a perfect chain of events? That was a sign. And today, I want to awaken in you that trust once again. Let your heart listen. Let your inner fire burn brighter, and be ready to receive 6 numbers, as 6 torches lighting your path. Aries, do you believe in the signs of the universe? Share with me and with everyone listening the moment when a sign changed your life. Maybe it was just a small nod from fate, but it opened a whole new horizon for you. Your story will not only feed your own spirit, it could become a source of inspiration, a piece of healing for someone else who is searching. And when your heart is open to receive, we'll take the next step in this journey. Let me bring you to the very first number Baba Vanga gave to Aries, a number that doesn't just mark a beginning, but sparks the very first flame on your path. That number is 05, the fire of beginnings. 05 always shows up as a gentle, yet firm reminder that beginnings are the most sacred part of life's journey. The very first step is like lighting a torch in the darkness, and that flame not only lights your own way, but guides those who will come after. For Aries, this truth is even stronger, because you were born carrying the energy of a pioneer. You are the fire that opens the path, the flaming arrow that cuts through the night, the call that urges humanity to step into a new chapter. The number 05 is a true reflection of your soul. It stands for freedom, for breakthrough, for bold action. When 05 appears, it is as if the universe is whispering, don't wait for perfection, because no moment will ever be more complete than right now. So many people stay stuck in endless preparation, always thinking they need more time, more conditions. But in reality, fortune only smiles on those who dare to move first, who step forward with nothing but faith in their hands. I believe each of us has had moments where we knew we should move ahead, yet we hesitated. Maybe it was fear, maybe it was the voice inside saying, "I'm not ready," and then the chance slipped away. Do you remember a time like that? An opportunity, a relationship, an invitation, all lost because you paused. The number 05 comes to tell you, enough. It's time to release the fire inside you. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't need perfection. It just needs to burn. Aries, you are the flame. And that flame was born to explode, to spread, to turn the impossible into possible. The universe doesn't hand opportunities to hesitant steps, but to hearts that dare to ignite. And when you do, the doors of destiny swing open. What once seemed closed suddenly becomes clear. People call it luck, but at its core, it is the universe's reward for courage. 05 is also the number of trusting your instincts, because Aries, you are not only a dreamer, you are the seed planter of dreams. You don't wait for someone else to clear the path. You are the path. And with every step you take, you offer the world a living picture of bravery. Don't be afraid if others don't understand. Don't worry if some still doubt. A flame doesn't need recognition. A flame only needs to burn. So let me ask you, how many times have you missed out simply because you hesitated? If today you hear the number 05 echoing in your heart, let it be your affirmation. Think back to one time you took a leap and the universe opened the door for you. Share that story. Not only to remind yourself, but to give strength to someone out there who needs a spark. Because every story of courage carries the power to heal. When 05 touches you, don't see it as just a number. See it as the first wind that blows on the spark inside your heart. Let it be the opening song, the drumbeat urging you to move. And once you're ready to burn, to break free, to act, you'll feel the whole current of the universe leaning in your favor. But you know, our journey is not only about the bright flame of beginnings. After those first steps, there will always be trials, silences, moments where the fire feels like it might go out. And that is when another number appears, a number many fear and avoid. But for you, Aries, it carries a different meaning. It is the power of rebirth. That number is 13. 13 is often tied to fear, to bad omens, to the things people don't want to face. But when you look deeper, you'll see it's not the number of destruction. It's a bridge of transformation, a door closing so another can open, a reminder that sometimes we must lose something in order to truly find ourselves. For Aries, 13 carries the energy of rebirth. It's the spirit of a soul once broken, yet finding new strength in the very cracks that split it apart. I believe every ending is simply an invitation to begin a new chapter. You may have lived through losses that shattered your heart, a love that fell apart, a dream left unfinished, a betrayal that knocked you down. And in that moment, you thought you couldn't go on. But remember, even in that deepest darkness, a new light flickered to life. It wasn't a light from the outside. It was born within you. The flame of Aries awakened, turning pain into strength, tears into wings, and scars into sacred marks that say, you have lived, you have loved, you have dared. The number 13 tells you, betrayal and failure are not here to bury you. They come to shape you into someone stronger, wiser, deeper, like a volcano that erupts, burning everything away, and yet from the ashes the land becomes fertile, life blooms again. So it is with you. Your falls are not endings. They are the foundation of your rebirth. Sit quietly for a moment. Remember a time you thought everything was lost. And then, from that place of despair, a hidden power within you rose up. That moment, that was your 13. It didn't come to destroy. It came to offer you a second birth so you could rise as a new warrior. Aries, let me ask you this. If you've ever turned a painful ending into strength, share that story. Not just to remind yourself of how resilient you are, but to let the light of your story shine for someone else. Because somewhere out there, someone feels lost, and your story could be the flame that keeps them standing. The number 13 teaches us this human truth. Wounds are not stains. They are the metals of the soul. We don't need to erase the past. We only need to carry it as a symbol of our growth. And in this world, when one person dares to rise from ruin, they give hope to all of us that nothing can bury a heart that loves, a soul that still believes. So if today you hear 13 echo in your heart, let it be the symbol of your rebirth. Don't run from your pain. Embrace it as part of you, because it is the very thing that will teach you how to become a light for others. And when you've walked through the shadows, you'll see a truth. None of us walks this path alone. Your strength may be carved through loss, But sometimes your blessings arrive through connection, through the souls who walk beside you. That is when the number 29 appears, reminding you this journey was never meant to be yours alone. 29 appears like a strange note in the great symphony of life. It doesn't rise to highlight the self, but to teach us about the power of resonance. This number carries the mark of cooperation, of shared wisdom, of connection, the kind that makes the impossible suddenly possible. For Aries, this may sound almost contradictory, because you're used to leading, used to walking alone, a warrior who needs no one at their back. But 29 comes to remind you that sometimes even the brightest flame needs connection to light up the whole sky. Think about those moments in your life when you pushed to the very edge. You gave it everything, but the results were still uncertain. And then someone showed up. Maybe it was a friend with a simple yet priceless piece of advice. Maybe it was a coworker standing by your side, just as you were about to give up. Or maybe it was a stranger, one small act of kindness that reminded you were never truly alone. That is 29 at work, bringing you soul companions, destined alliances that no one could predict, but that have the power to change everything. In astrology, Aries is the sign of beginnings, the arrow that flies forward. But even an arrow needs the bow to draw it back. A flame can burn on its own, but when joined with 100 others, it becomes a fire bright enough to light the whole sky. That is the truth 29 wants you to remember. Real strength is not always in standing alone. Sometimes it's in opening your heart to resonance. The lesson of this number is deeply human. When we give, when we share, when we dare to connect, abundance and good fortune don't just multiply for us. They ripple outward as joy and blessing for the whole community. True abundance is never a story of one person. It is a flow, and when you let that flow move through you to reach others, it always returns to you stronger, deeper. Aries, you don't have to carry everything on your shoulders. The universe did not create you to be alone on this journey. There are souls waiting for you, to walk with you, to strengthen you, to complete what you cannot do alone. And sometimes allowing someone in is the greatest gift you didn't know you needed. Ask yourself who has been that unexpected ally who helped you through. It could have been someone you've known forever, or someone you only met once. But in that moment, they became the hand that pulled you from the edge. Share that story, because when you tell it, you don't just remind yourself of your own lesson. You pass on inspiration to someone else who needs to believe that they too will find such a hand. 29 brings us back to a simple truth. We were made to connect. And when Aries learns to balance individual strength with the power of the collective, that is when you rise into a new level of maturity. But connection, if it remains only emotional, can still fall apart like scattered pieces. 29 asks us to open our hearts, but the next challenge asks us to aim toward a clear purpose, because connection grows stronger when it shares a destination. And that is when the number 56 arrives. Whispering that action only carries true power when it is anchored in a sacred purpose. 56 enters your path like a different kind of wind, not loud, not explosive, but like an invisible hand resting gently on your shoulder, reminding you the fire inside you needs direction. It doesn't put out your Aries flame. On the contrary, it offers you a map, a compass, so that fire doesn't scatter, doesn't burn out, but becomes so focused it can pierce straight through the night. Aries, you were born carrying fire, that restless energy that always wants to try, to go, to reach. But how many times in your life have you started strong, only to abandon the journey halfway, simply because there was no clear goal? How many projects, how many dreams, how many resolutions burned bright for a moment and then turned to ashes because the flame had no anchor? The number 56 comes to whisper, the time has come for a bigger reason, a clear purpose, something that can turn your fire into lasting strength. 56 is freedom blended with responsibility, passion walking hand in hand with stability. It doesn't hold you back. It teaches you how to shape the path. Like a flaming arrow, you can fly in many directions, but only with a target will that arrow hit fortune, strike the treasure the universe has already prepared. Now imagine this: if you gathered all your desire, all your will, all your fire into a single point and released it with absolute focus, what would you create? That is the power of purposeful action. It's no longer reckless steps taken just to test your luck. It's conscious movement, the kind that makes the universe bow and open the way. The lesson of 56 is simple but profound. Reckless action can flare up for a moment, but only action tied to a clear purpose creates lasting wealth, and not just material wealth, but spiritual wealth, peace, fulfillment, and the deep knowing that you are living true to your soul's chosen path. Aries, let me ask you this. What financial goal are you aiming for by the end of this year? Don't let it drift through your mind like a vague thought. Write it down. Writing is a form of commitment to the universe. When you put it on paper, you place your intention into the flow of energy, and every action you take will fall into alignment, carrying weight and direction. Picture this. You decide right now with clarity, I want to build financial stability. I want to create steady income. I want to clear old burdens so I can step into the new year lighter. And then you act every day, even if it's just one small step, but always toward that goal. You'll see 56 is not just a number. It's a bridge, a seal of assurance, that when you act with purpose, you are walking a path that leads directly to prosperity. 56 doesn't care how many times you've failed. It only asks, today, will you focus all your energy on what truly matters? Will you let go of scattering your fire and choose one road, one purpose, and walk it all the way? And when you do, you'll see this truth. The universe doesn't just reward the brave. It rewards the steady hearts, the ones who know why they began and why they continue. Aries, let the number 56 be your mirror, reminding you that your fire needs direction. Trust that when you pour your whole passion into a sacred goal, you won't just change your own life. You'll leave a mark on the world. And once that goal is set, another door will open, not just a lesson in action, but a gateway to something greater where the spirit of leadership awakens. Baba Vanga named it with the number 104, the number of leaders, the number of pioneering souls who light the way. 104 appears like a wide open gate, not an ordinary gate, but one made for souls born to lead. Aries, you already know how powerful your fire is. But this number reminds you that flame is not only for yourself. It is a torch placed in your hands for you to lift high, to guide the many who walk behind you. In the sacred combination of numbers, one carries the energy of beginnings. 0 opens the doorway to infinity, and 4 lays down a steady foundation. Together they create 104, the symbol of leadership, bold enough to go first, strong enough to endure, wide enough to welcome others to walk with you. It is not just a number. It is the heartbeat of a leader's soul. And you, Aries, are the living echo of that heartbeat. Look back at your journey. How many times have you taken the first step, while others were still hesitating? How many times have you been the voice of encouragement, the living proof that courage is possible? That was 104 moving through your life. It doesn't demand perfection. It doesn't ask you to carry the whole world. It only asks that you be true to your mission, to live honestly with the fire of leadership inside you. You may not always see it, but when you step forward, when you dare to believe, to choose, to act, you open a road for others. A single decision you make today could be the lighthouse for someone lost in the dark. One word of encouragement from you could be the spark that keeps someone from giving up. And when you live true to that calling, fortune doesn't just come to you, it spreads, it multiplies. It creates opportunities for the whole community to touch the light. Aries, you are not only a flame, you are the keeper of the flame. Picture a crowd walking through the night. If each person holds a match, the light barely flickers. But if you hold a great torch, your light shines on everyone's path. You are the one chosen to carry that torch. And when you raise it high, others will find the courage to keep moving. So let me ask you, who is it you want to guide? Whose name would you write down as a promise, as a gift, as a commitment? Because your leadership energy could be the light that saves them. When you live for yourself, you are strong. But when you live to shine for others, you become unstoppable. 104 teaches us that leadership is not power. It is responsibility, not to stand above, but to stand in front, not to command, but to clear the way. When you understand this, every action you take becomes a seed planted in someone's heart. And from those seeds, entire fields of hope will bloom. Aries, the gate is open. And when you step through, you'll realize a profound truth: you were never alone. There are unseen forces walking with you, great hands lifting you up. And that is when the number 333 appears, whispering that you are always protected. 333 is not just a number. It feels like a whisper from the unseen, a subtle signal sent down to you whenever life feels unsteady. Aries, this number carries the mark of divine protection, a circle of light wrapped around your soul's fire, reminding you have never once been truly alone. Think back to the moments you thought you couldn't rise again, when everything in your life shattered like glass hitting stone, and yet somehow you kept moving. Somehow an invisible strength lifted you up, pulled you from the edge, and carried you forward. That is the energy of 333. It appears like a heartbeat echoing with your own, whispering, "Keep walking. I am here." 333 is a promise from the universe, a silent vow that you never have to face the storm alone. You may not see it, you may not touch it, but if you close your eyes and feel, right now in this very moment, there is a circle of light surrounding you. It shields the Aries flame inside you, keeping the winds of life from blowing it out, keeping the shadows from swallowing it whole. It is unconditional protection, given because you were not born to walk a short road but to complete an entire journey. I believe when you see 333 in your life, on a license plate, on a digital clock, even in a dream, it is never by accident. It is a message that what you've prayed for, what you've poured your heart into, is being heard, and it's coming back to you faster than you think. 333 is the sign of manifestation. When you see it, it means your prayer has touched the invisible waves and is returning in the form of opportunity, in the form of miracles. Aries, let 333 be your faith. Believe that within you and around you there is always a team of light, guides, invisible angels, and when you trust in that presence, you'll dare to go farther. You'll dare to choose braver paths, because you know even if you fall, there will be hands to lift you again. Try this, sit in silence once and call 333 inside your heart. Then take a deep breath. You may notice something strange. Your chest eases, fear softens, and a warm feeling begins to spread through every cell. That is the healing message of 333. You are safe. You are protected. You are walking the right path. And let me ask you, have you ever seen the number 333 in your own life? If you have, share that story, because your experience might become a sign, a confirmation, for someone out there longing for faith. When you tell it, you don't just affirm the miracle in your own life. You open a door of belief for someone else. Aries, 333 is like an invisible embrace. It holds you through every storm, so you have the courage to do what you must to live true to your mission. It reminds you how precious your flame is, and that no darkness can ever put it out. And now, as you begin to feel that circle of light around you, know this journey with the numbers is not yet finished, because Baba Vanga left you one final gift. A ritual simple but powerful, the ritual of breath and intention, so these numbers are not only symbols, but become alive in every step you take. Aries, it's time we close this journey with a ritual simple yet sacred. You don't need elaborate ceremonies. You don't need magic from somewhere far away. All you need is a blank sheet of paper, a pen, and a few quiet minutes just for yourself. Take that paper. Write down the 6 lucky numbers Baba Vanga has placed in your hands. Write them slowly. Let each number sink deep into your mind. Then sit down, take a deep breath in, and let it out. Repeat it 6 times, each breath a rhythm tying your heart to the heartbeat of the universe. And when you feel your spirit settle, read the numbers out loud, not just with your voice, but with your belief. Send your intention into each number, so they are no longer lifeless symbols but seeds of energy being planted into reality. Afterward, keep that paper close. Slip it into your wallet where you hold your money. Place it in your phone where you connect with the world, or tape it on your mirror where every morning you see yourself. Let these numbers walk with you as a reminder that you are choosing abundance, that you are tuning into the frequency of prosperity. This is not superstition. This is a ritual to awaken your inner will, a way to align yourself with abundance, the fullness already alive in your soul. When you do this, you are not calling money from the outside. You are opening the door from within, where gratitude and faith become magnets that draw what you need. Aries, you are not just playing with numbers. You are activating the belief that the universe always provides, that you are worthy of good things, that every drop of sweat, every prayer, every ounce of faith is never wasted. And when you believe, you'll see life slowly change its colors from scarcity to sufficiency, from anxiety to peace. So let me invite you to do one small thing with infinite power. Write in the comments, "I am ready to receive my abundance." See it as a declaration to the universe that you are ready. When you write it, you're not just committing to yourself. You're inspiring those listening alongside you. And who knows, maybe those words will become the turning point. The moment a new chapter of prosperity begins for you. Thank you for walking this journey. Thank you for listening, for opening your heart, for allowing these numbers to become a bridge between you and the sacred. I bless your flame to always stay lit, so that even through darkness you carry the light in your heart. May every step you take bring prosperity, peace, and unshakable faith in the universe. And above all, may you always remember this truth. You have never and you will never walk alone.